So today we're going to be reviewing this design and we're going to see what errors are on this design and how to fix them. So let me start with the first one. You can see so many things are actually fighting here, and then this footer part is really unarranged. So yeah, most of these elements are standing on their own, but not all are standing on their own. So we'll be needing to rearrange it to fit how we want the design to look. For example, if you come here, you see that this full image, this is actually a full image. So this wasn't brought in, so we can't control the sleeve. The safer way to have that would have been better is bring in this separately and have this as a separate background too. So the sky separate background, this separate background, and this. However, if we are to maintain this image, then first we need to arrange the title to be at least tangible, and then we can now bring in other sections and the appendix. This here, this that we have here is also part of the image itself, so you can see, but this is something that is separate, and with this is also separate, so you can see already. So let's go through the design. Okay, we're going to first of all remove this from the sides, and then let's see how to fix this. First is that this is not arranged well. The whole title is really not giving us that vibe that we wanted to give. So vibe and love is the main thing here, and it's a wild but. So if we are actually focusing on the major theme, which is vibes and love, then we can actually have those so to be big. Wild party is a sub-content, so this is more of the main title, vibes and love. So you can find a way to arrange this to look better. I'm going to just still paste the other text we just got from there, the wild party. So we have it somewhere around, and then let's work on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is to reduce the character spacing. Alright, it's even safer to have this on separate lines, so you can comfortably work on them as you wish. So I'm going to have vibe, that love here, and then so on separate layers, everything will be there, and we can comfortably move them around how we want and make any necessary changes if we be. So vibes is big enough just as we want it to be, and then we have our and then love. Like ground. We'll still come back to colors and all that. Let me just change the color of this one a bit so you can see where the position is. Now if you go to the layers panel, we can see that here is also below this. So we want it a bit above. Let's say we are maintaining the previous color, which is this. I'm going to just take it a little bit above, and then to make it still be tangible here, we can have a stroke on it. And the stroke would have the color where it is still there, and I would see it is visible around. So if we want it to be more visible, while we're checking it, we can adjust the stroke to know how well it can go. I think we can use something more brighter. So this gives it a little bit balanced than what it was before. So let me just track back history so you see what we've done so far. We're going to go back to histories, take a snapshot of this level, and let's see the before. This is the before. This is the after for now. We've not done what yet. Okay, so we're just trying to maintain every single thing that was in this design before, and then using the same font and everything that was here before to see the possible changes we could make to this to look better. I'm not changing the fonts. We're maintaining most of the fonts used here, except the ones we can't have access to. Now, this is cool, but it wouldn't be cool to have it conflicting with this. Okay, so this can be reduced in size and thrown in at some points just to give this design a blend. Okay, and you don't want it to also be distracting. So first of all, we're going to create a copy of it. I don't want this to be in any with it because it's actually not a group element. Same thing with this one. Shouldn't be in a group because it's nothing. You are grouping it with anything, so shouldn't be in a group. Should just stand on the spot. So we're going to reduce the size of it as well. We throw it in from the corner here. Now, what do we do to this to make it lively? To make it look lively, we are just include a little bit. All we need to do to it is, it's a smart object, so we just go to filter and go to blur, Gaussian blur, and then just blur it up a bit. And you can see has added some shield there. And add this one as well. We do the same thing. You're right. Don't want it to be much on this one. Just click OK though. So you can see it's not distracting us, or we still have the whole thing here. Now we'll still come back to color and work on that. So I'm gonna work on this. And we're maintaining the color here, the font there. So we'll see that the issue first, the major issue at first is not the font itself, but the first thing is here. Here is your arrangement. So if you get the arrangement right, using the font you're using here wouldn't be too much of an issue, even though it's not right using plenty fonts. Yeah, we're still just using 2 fonts in this case. So we'll see how to make things work out. So you can see, let me click a snapshot again so you see the before and after in different levels. So this is it at the initial stage. This is what we changed it to at first, and then we are here now. You can see we've created a lot of space, and we have actually given attention to the title now. So anybody who is looking at this will see Vibes and Love Wild, but it's a beach hangout. Okay, so and now we have enough space to have everything here. You can see same content, and we've not able to add any extra tones yet. And we are seeing we have a lot of spaces now to do quite a lot of things. So, and we've seen that these two are reduced now, they are not also distracting. We can also make some adjustments to this depending on what we feel is cool for the design. Alright, so we've seen how this has played out. Another thing we would like to do here is to give this design some life. So let's come back to this section. Let me just quickly run up with the section before we're doing more dates. Now, you can decide to use this without the background. However, we don't want this to be distracting for us. So if we're going to use this without the background, we're going to have to work on this to take out this table. Alright? And to do that, we'd have to manipulate this by just blending up the background. I'm going to just create a copy of this background and give us that example as well, so we'll see the possible options. So I'm going to create a copy of this, and then I'm going to manipulate this very version of it. I'll rasterize this, and then let's just do a quick manipulation by just uploading this section. A section of the design to replace another section. So we need to just plug in that part to replace this part. Alright, so I've replaced the down part. I also want to clone this part now to replace the water. Alright, and there we have it. Alright, for every other little touches we need, I'll just blend that up. And automatically we've seen that we're able to remove that guy from the way. And we have the green ground. So this is one of the options. The second option is to use, if we're using the background, the case where we're using the background, if we're using this background, then we should be using something tangible, not this. So if we're to even use this same thing you have here, first is we don't want an outline of it. There's a stroke. Shouldn't have a stroke. It's not supposed to have a stroke. And if you're also having points, then they should flow easily, not rigidly this way. So possibly converting the points to curve. So can comfortably now adjust the flow. Alright, you're going to adjust the flow. Alright, we've done this adjustment already, so we'll just use this to now move it around. I'm using this tool now, the direct selection tool, to now move it around, place it where we want it. So with this, we have a nice flowing shape around here to the house content. And we can now bring it up this way. And another thing we need to take note of is the background, the margin here. For example, they will have no content at the top here. But we'll also have to give some spacing at the top here. See up to this. So same thing is applicable to the down parts. If we are going to have any write-ups here, so we should also give some level of margin to accommodate that. So I'm going to just select these guys quickly and then move them up a bit so to see how we affect that margin. So move it up a bit. We're not yet working on the text there, so just moving it up a bit has given this some life. So let's see the before and the after now. So I'm going to quickly save this. And let's go to a history, take another snapshot, and then we'll see this is the before and this is the after. We are still using exactly same fonts, same themes, nothing changed. I didn't even use the manipulated version again, so you can see that everything here is still obtainable. I have not changed your colors yet. Now to balance colors and all that, that would come to bring us to adjusting the colors of this part to give it a better contrast. This color is supposed to be that color, so I'm going to pick your dark color here. And all right, since your dark color is actually black, I'm going to pick a color from this. We just make it a bit dark, and then we have that there. To make it also much easier, let me take that color and then we're going to create a gradient color with that. Good. I will tweak, paste this, and then out of this section, but we'll click paste that and then take it a little bit down, create a dark shade. We're going to switch this to it to flow upward this way. Now with this, we also have something tangible already. And we can comfortably now change these colors to the bright color here, the white. And that feels settles it for us. So we've been able to see how to make some few changes. Yes, this is not yet perfect, all right, but we'll be able to see how to make some few changes to the design to maintain the same content you have and still create something tangible. So now to give it more life, we're going to be redesigning this part so it will look more interesting. Now, you want to lay emphasis on the phone number, not on the few things. We don't even know in fact, we wouldn't notice the phone number with this approach. So, we are maintaining the same fonts used here and Gotham. Alright, I'm going to just take this out, the spacing out, so after the phone number there. And then we'll have this. I'm going to reduce the size of this and switch it from black to the look in this case. I'm going to just take this one up a bit so we don't have a static too. Alright, I'm going to have this here. And then we'll just have this like this. When queries, crawl. So now this is the date, this is supposed to be the time, and this is supposed to be the location. Right? So we can have all of that arranged in different ways. Now for me, I would prefer to have a different background from this. All right, let's say I'm trying to maintain the old thing I talked about here, all right, which is the manipulated version without using this. If I'm using this manipulated version, now this gives me leverage to go ahead and work with this background here. All right, the first thing first is to just arrange this and match up colors the way we want. And then we can now go ahead to blend it up. So let's say we're using black. This is how it will look. Alright, this is how it will look here. can also have this ink sort of lines. Let's go this way. The 2 lines, its spacing reduced to 7. No character spacing. Same with this guy, it's no character space, so to say this is almost length, we're not worried about the lag. So for someone who wants to break the text into 2, let's read, you can also use this approach to just lay emphasis on the phone number here. Alright, now depending on what you want to achieve in this design, we would like to skew this to hit the line with the background itself, and we'll now have to work on it to give us some better view. So first thing first is that we're going to convert this to a smart object if we want to skew it, and then we can now go ahead to skew with the perspective of this one line. Alright, so it will look as if it's placed on this ground. Alright, that's the perspective of trying to create here. Other things that will come in now is we trying to place it in the way that it would look kind of calmly overlaid on this. Alright, so it will still work on that to get this more tangible look. If I'm going to use an overlay like this, then I have to change the color or double it to give us the feel we want, like this, for it to be visible, and then we can now increase the size to the size we want. We need to select a tool to increase the size. Yeah, right. We're gonna go ahead and just open it to look as better as we want it to. Then. So that is that for this. But while you are doing this, make sure that it's actually in line with this. So to check, you can now adjust the lining, make sure it's growing there well. That's it. Okay, that's one aspect, one approach to use this if you actually trying out this approach. Alright. Like I said, you can decide to use one and then work on colors or blend it up the way you want. And there are so many options here you can use. Alright. If you're maintaining the color, another thing you can do is to tone down it. This to look what with black, this would not feel very fine. So to make it also easy, you can also maintain the red color here. So we're coming to this, let's pick this color red. We're going to just keep the color code here, copy this, and then come here and use the same color for all of these. Is that save, and then close this. I'll come back to it if I can see it, how it is looking now. So if we decide to switch to multiply, sorry, I'm selecting the wrong thing. So if we decide to switch to multiply, that you can see the different views each of them use. And if you come to overlay, soft light, or even hard light, you can see the view we have there. Alright, so you can just play around them to know the one you prefer. Alright, so I'm going to still maintain, let's go with multiply this time, or even color font. Okay, I think we'll go with color bar. Alright, so that is that. Now, this is best if we're actually doing these all together, so they'll be in semi flow. We're going to just quickly distribute this, so have A4 spacing, and then I'll align it to the left that way, so we'll have the same way. Alright, and then we're going to select them and give them same color red. Alright, I'm assuming that we're not doing any serious design for this, we're maintaining just text alone. Alright, so all we need to do is convert it to smart object while it's still selected, and then we can now go ahead and also do the perspective warping for this. To put the plane. Okay, so while we're using the perspective, it's necessary we'll check out to ensure that it's actually flowing in the line. We're going to increase it a bit. And then we'll have to work on the other one as well, so it will be in line with this. So I'm going to just take this down and then reduce it a bit this way, so both will flow together. And we're going to also switch this to linear brown in color, I'm sorry. So we have exactly the same thing for both sides. And then we can also decide to turn down the intensity of these two. Here's it to 60% to 90%, as the case may be, whichever one you prefer. However, we still have a work here on this background. So to work on this background, so we actually have a better blend that will help us decide on the best opacity to use for this. There's so much, and let's budget a little bit. So we have this, and then we have beauty on this, the root. So yeah, still in the direction of this. So to work on the background now, all we need to do is, before working on the background, please create the copy, so in case it's destroyed, you have the copy. Or another alternative you have is make sure that this is converted to a smart object. This one you're using, all right? It's converted to a smart object. Now you can go ahead and apply the filter. So the filter we want to apply here is a camera raw filter. You can also use Shift Control E to work on it. So once you click on that, then go ahead to do whatever you want to do. So what we want to do here in this case is to adjust the background so it will be a bit more lively. Alright, so we're going to work on some few things. First, we want to add some textures to it, create a clarity a little bit, and then give it some ideas so the colors will come out. You just increase the contrast a little bit. We don't want too much exposure. A little bit of the highlights should come out. The shadows, we don't want it to be too dark, so add with the shadow. The whites tone down a bit, and then the blacks added a little bit. So it just play around it, and once you get a good look, and the color I'm watching out before, the color of the water and the color of the sound, and then this while log rotation, making sure the cloud is not too much. Alright, so if you actually want it to be a little bit more saturated, you can decide to add saturation, but we don't really need saturation. We're going to tone it down a little bit, let's say to -6, and then click OK. So it's going to load up, and this is what we have. You can see this has brought us to light floor, and you can see the before and the after. So I'm going to just undo and then come back, but I can also hide and show this. So you can see it's lively here, but it's more lively here. Okay, I'm going to just zoom out that way so you can see it, the whole thing. This brings more life to it, and this can also serve as a flyer for a battery. You can see I didn't even touch the fonts, I didn't touch your colors yet. I'm still using the same colors, and yeah, still achieving something like that. So let's see the before and the after. So going back to history, we're going to take a snapshot at this. So this is the first hairstyles. This is how it was, and then this is how far we've got with the same content. This is where we actually arranged it to this level, and this is the last level we got. So everything is doable. It is just about you using the same tools you learned how to use, play around it, and get something more tangible. For example, if we don't want the reflection on the water, with the approach we use to remove this from the background, which is the cloning, alright, using the clone stamp, alright, we can go ahead to select the part of the background we don't want to work on. We don't want to have like that, and then work on it. For example, to do that, we'll have to double click and come into the image. You don't need to rasterize it. Come into the image to your clone stamp. You don't want this bright side, you want the other side. So the size you want to clone, you can clone, for example, here. I use it to replace this and you have that gone. That clone here and use it to replace this. You have that gone. You don't want the sections that are not in relation to what you're doing to replace another section. So yeah, just play around it calmly, and let's see. Here, can use that to replace here, and we use this to replace this. You can see it's gone successful. So just play around other sections we want to work on. That is it. Once you're done and you're satisfied with the view, let's say we want to use here, so we blend up here a bit. Now we went here to blend up there, so it doesn't look so much. It's so once you're done, you can just save. We'll close this. When you come back to the other side, it's completely gone. Alright, and that is back. So if you want to add more focus on this, don't forget to group all these together. Group it together and then make your adjustments once, transform them to the size you want, and then make any extra adjustments you want to make. We're going to go back to the layer view and then make some adjustments on this. In my eraser tool, it's the softness, I'm going to just tap on this to erase some parts of it that are not necessary. So yeah, that is that, and that is how we create this. Now, to also make this soft, we're supposed to blur this out a little bit so the edges will be this solid. So all you need to do is go back to Gaussian blur, and since this is already a shape that has been worked on already, you can just blur it just a little bit. You don't want it to be too much like this, so it should be a little bit. So you just see some soft edges and still have the shape. Yeah, so this is before, but this is after, and that is looking very cool. So without the marks there, you can see this. Now with this, you can also see what we've done so far. You can adjust this ones to come to the top, and it does come in this up, and do any other thing you want. It's your choice. Just restart with the design. If you're also using background like the case we had as first, which is this, then go ahead and work on your background. For using the background, then you should make the background flow with this. So blend up the background to just veneer with good looks. Then hit your colors and all that. Alright. So those are different options we have, and we've been able to see how to create this there. So the next thing we'll do is just go ahead and save it as image, and then do a general effect on it, so it make much better. Okay, so we're going to save this as an image. We're going to just save it here, and it downloads, and we're going to pick it and bring it back to this space. So you can see it's at the top. Here is it, or isn't again. I want this to be at the top, so we can see only it. And then we can go ahead and make any adjustments if we need to. Alright. We would have added some effects. For example, to make this look lovely, we would have used 3D text for these vibes and love, and it should look more interesting. Alright. Those are little looking things we can draw up here and there to make the design look interesting. But for the case of this review, I'm just showing you how it is possible to still maintain what you have on screen and still use that to create awesome stuff. Okay. So yeah, that is that. So let's quickly do filter. We're going to use Ctrl+Shift+A. You already saw how I located that from this filter section. So the camera of it, I will also come to it, can now make any adjustments. Want to add into contrasts, add more texture to bring out the whole thing more. Alright, a little bit of clarity to make it pop a bit. Plus a little bit of clarity. If you want to dehaze, if you want it to dehaze, this is what it will look like. It will look a bit yellowish and like that. So if you want to keep the git natural, so just make the adjustments. The major thing I need here is the texture. So this is without texture, and this is with texture. So it makes everything come out much better. And then you can work on the shadows if you want to. You need the blacks and these a little bit. Saturation. I don't want it much. Okay. So once you get the look that you like, that is looking much better, making everything clearer and sharper, you can just click OK, and then like, voila, you have this. So before the camera roll feedback, and this is after the camera roll feedback. So I can now save this, and this would be what we'll send to our client. So just save this. This will be what we'll send to our client, and everybody's happy. So that'll bring us to the end of this review. Please do take your time to go through it and learn, and also give me your feedback.